Alright guys, I'm not gonna lie, after seeing the skin on mobile, I just bought the skin today, and it is not looking too fresh. I'm not gonna lie. Let me know in the comments, guys, is that skin fire? On 30 FPS, it's a nah, but on like 240 FPS, it's kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie. Let me know in the comments, please let me know. In all serious though, I told you guys last video that I was gonna be making arena grind on 30 FPS, if that even makes sense, but we did it. And it actually turned out okay. I'm not gonna lie. It is very difficult to play arena on 30 FPS, as many of you guys know if you guys are Switch players or if you guys play mobile. I have mad props to you. I mean, yeah, there is mad aim assist on mobile, but literally playing on this low of FPS is so difficult already in regular pub game that in arena it is like 12 times difficult more. Like, it is crazy how scary it is in arena because A, the graphics are worse, B, your movement is way slower, C, walls are easily able to be taken by kids who just have better ping and such. Because I mean, on mobile you really don't know what your ping is. On Nintendo Switch you really don't know what your ping is. It's like, it is a very difficult, it's kind of a 50-50 flip. So anyways guys, for our first game here, I wanted to go somewhere where I thought could be contested but not way too contested, like Caddy Corner for example. So I wanted to go, we went Slurpee pretty much. That was our contested game, and I'm also going to do another game where I'm going to show you guys a less contested spot, and also I'm going to be giving you guys some suggestions later on in the video on a really good drop spot that's underrated, that if you do have low FPS it could be the perfect spot for you, or even if you're playing on 240 FPS, it is a really good uncontested spot. And yeah, so stay tuned. So after looting up inside a Slurpee, there is Marauders that normally do spawn here, which is good and bad, because I mean, if they're on you, obviously bad, but they also can help you scout out opponents. Now this guy had absolutely no idea I was coming towards him. The first thing I usually try to do inside of arena games, no matter what FPS I'm on, is try to get a beam on somebody, see how much HP they have. If that guy would have been white, I probably would have charged more, but since I saw he was blue, I kind of disengaged. It's not really worth taking that fight, because by the time I get to him, he's probably going to be healed up a little bit, and B, also he could have probably beat me from like distance, just because of the fact that he could have probably popped a chug splash or a half pot or whatever, and then just been ready sitting on me, and then he probably would have had the advantage, because again, he is also high ground in that situation, unless I would have had the rare situation where I could have got high ground just because of the fact that he was scared and sitting in a box. Now for mid game, really the way I'm playing it is I'm playing it extra passive. Like I said, since I'm on 30 FPS, I'm really not used to shooting either on 30 FPS with mobile controller. I'm really not used to it because I don't play it that often, but for this video, educational purposes, like I said, I wanted to test it out. So I kind of want to play passive, try to get as much placement as I can, try to keep rotating more dead sides if I can. This gameplay is kind of a representation of what not to do, but also know what to do if it happens to you. So pretty much zone is pulling more and more towards kind of like lazy lake area. So the issue is though is the fact of, if you even try to go dead side, which was probably more than likely all the way up north coming downward, that's the congested side. So for me to get to dead side, I would have to go all the way down to Misty. So the issue with that is just trying to rotate all the way through everything, just trying to get down there. But if I go this pathway, I'm still in the congestion side as well, because of the fact of Fortilla is rotating in, Holly Hedges is rotating in, Salty's rotating downward towards Weeping. Everybody's trying to rotate in. I think in the zones, Salty is still in, but it's just the fact of the matter is it's a congested side, so you got to watch a little bit more, because more players will be around and more players will be willing to beam you and try to kill you before we get to that placement mark. So once again, guys, like I said, if you're not a good fighter, I would definitely not recommend doing this. I mean, unless you feel comfortable with it. But again, I try to beam another guy just due to the fact of, like I said, I want to see how much shield and stuff they have. In that fight right there, that guy is far enough away to the point where I can kind of just vibe, just hit him up once, then box up, because I'm waiting for, obviously to figure out where the next zone's going to be at, figure out how I want to play it exactly. And so pretty much right here, we do have zone, so I can kind of just sit here, collect my placement. That's what I definitely recommend for you guys on 30 FPS, is collect your placement. That is so crucial, because like I said, you just do not want to be taking at all really any fights. I mean, you can take fights, but especially if you're mid game, even if you're on 240 FPS, I would never recommend taking a mid game fight unless you have a severe advantage. I mean, it's it's kind of a 50-50 at that point. I mean, just because of the fact that third party could come in and try to stop you. So what went wrong with this game mainly is just the fact that I had a kid who kept trying to psycho W key me for no reason. I mean, I was sitting like in a box. I was like in a 2-layer box, so I mean, there's that. I missed my shot right there, and that kind of just costed me, because the kid just kept really hitting some nice side shots on me here, which was kind of annoying. But it's just, I don't I don't understand why people are really W keying, especially whenever you're so close to placement. I mean, I get, obviously, like, you know, if the person, like, is just sitting in a box, I get that 110%, because, I mean, I'd probably make the same move. I would make that move if I had crash pads, but it's just, I, like, especially if this person's on a lower FPS, I just don't understand why they're trying to make a move like this, especially whenever I'm obviously trying to disengage. Like, this person just trying to psycho W key me for no reason, and in the end, it does go bad for me. But, like, so the main thing I've really learned from this is, like, you just gotta avoid congested side. Try to get to dead side as much as possible, and I was on the congested side, and it costed me the game. The next game I did go Slurpee again and played it roughly the same exact way. The only issue again is since I'm on a congested side, I did get the big 60 though, so we did go up 20 points in this game. So pretty much we've broken even after these last 2 games now, because of the fact of just pretty much I keep playing on the congested side and it's costing me dearly, because I have one guy under me, I have one guy trying to build above me here. It's just, it did not go at all the way I wanted to, and after these 2 games I definitely did learn I need to avoid the congested side and keep on moving. We did take 24th in this game and 29th in the previous one though. I told you guys to start this video I'd be giving you guys a really good drop spot, and I am not lying about it. Now this is an underrated spot for sure, guys. Gas stations, doesn't matter which one you go to around the map, as long as you have a good spot to rotate off of. I prefer the one by Holly Hedges just because of the fact of it's normally uncontested, which most are uncontested because who's going to land at a gas station. But you get a chest, you get normally, I would say you probably have floor loot almost every time. There's sometimes not, or like it's just a pistol or something. Like the loot is like kind of questionable because you will get 2 guns usually no matter what, but also the best part about it is you get these little vegetables which sometimes have peppers in them, which peppers are crucial, and also you can get shield off like the ground and stuff. Like this is the perfect loadout I got right here, just because of the fact that I got max shield, I got peppers, I got a shotgun. Like you're kind of vibing here, and then I normally just rotate off and I'll rotate the zone. I'll get mats as well, and normally I'll just play with whatever's in the gas station loot, and this is a really good way to make it to end game. Like I said, especially if you get a shotgun off spawn, I mean obviously you can upgrade it periodically if you find an upgrade bench, but this is a really good spot and underrated, and most people, even in tournaments, I've tested it out, and a lot of people don't go to gas stations. The only way people are going here is if they have a scuffed drop, but most people don't want to take the chance of going to a gas station and getting contested by a POI. In my opinion though, it's worth it just because of the fact that you can go to the gas station, then you can rotate off, get mats, or you could rotate off into another building, which is kind of nice. I normally rotate off of this gas station and I'll go in the water because there's a lot of islands and buildings over there, which work out good for me. For my final game, I wanted to go to a spot that I knew for sure was going to be uncontested, or at least had one person here, which luckily I got it uncontested. But the reason why I chose Wood Shack was mainly because of the fact that if I get a charge, no matter what, I can go around, get mats, and then I can upgrade it to purple. And I figured a purple charge, especially on this low of FPS, would be nice because if I one-tap, I could have the chance of one-tapping somebody. I mean, you can have a blue charge, but blue charges only do like 200 max to the head. So it's kind of like, you know, you kind of just got to, you know, take your chances with blue charge, where if you get a purple charge, you know, like I said, there's plenty of mats around here, you can upgrade your stuff. Again, I'm trying to play more for placement. I mean, unless I see somebody, like I said, I keep doing the beaming strat where I'll try to beam somebody, see what they're at health-wise, but nobody sadly was around me. The one thing that was around me, though, this game a lot was Storm, because Zone was all the way going up to Steamy from Wood Shack, and I just did not expect it, and I got hit by Storm. I was trying to get shield off the ground, you know, like from the little berries and such off the ground, but it took me way too long, and also trying to get max mats again took me way too long. Normally, whenever I'm not used to having Zone that far away, I have a lot of time just, you know, to get, you know, mats and such, but in this game I was unprepared and Zone caught up to me and I took a nice 50 damage from it. I do get lucky though because I do find a drop over here. There is a guy sniping at me to my right, but I do get a drop. It has a P90 and a launch pad, which launch pads are obviously crucial, and it'll help me avoid taking more damage, and I'm going to take that and go all the way to Zone. Once again, I didn't plan for it, but I'm on the congested side once again, which it's just this, for me to get on the dead side, I would have to go far north and then come in all the way at the top, which just was not going to happen just because of the fact that I do not have full health, A, and also B, again, I'm on 30 FPS, so I'm not comfortable trying to take, you know, like fights and such. So it's very difficult trying to make your way around. So I'm trying to get mats, play way more protected, because I mean, kills are nice, but also trying to get to endgame is a lot nicer. So since I'm on, like I said, the congested side, one thing that does suck is I have 2 guys literally, one above me, and I think there was one off to the side of me. And I'm kind of just sitting here, and the guy thinks I'm in this box. The guy on top of me thinks I'm in this box, but I kind of just sneak off. And the funny thing about it is these guys start getting into a fight, so literally it just gives me enough time, literally just run, hop in the river, and go to zone. Once again, the graphics on 30 FPS are not the best, so literally I try to beam this kid out of the air. Mind you, I'm playing on an iPhone 8 Plus, so it's a very small screen. It is so difficult to see people. It is so difficult. Like, I mad props to you guys who play on Nintendo Switch and just iPhones, or even just phones. I mean, tablets are way bigger, so I mean, you kind of do have a little bit of an advantage there just because they're a bigger screen. But playing on a phone or just a Switch, oh my lord, these screens are so small to play on. We do get top 25 placement, which is nice, and we are on our way to top 15 placement as well, which is also very good in these stacked lobbies like this, because this is kind of a stacked lobby. I mean, having this many people left at this point in the game, I mean, it's just, you don't really see it in like Division like 5, for example. I mean, the only way you're gonna see it is in Division, I would say, like once you hit like 5,000 points, guys, that's whenever you start getting in the more stacked lobbies. And then once you hit the champs, you get in the most stacked lobbies, of course. But it's just, we get a lucky 3 rotation here, boys and girls. Look at this. So I know that there's a fighting all around me, and so I just kind of take off an early game here on an early foot run, and we kind of just get in easily. This was kind of a really nice play just because of the fact of we didn't have to waste mats, and for some reason I got stuck on my emote screen. How I don't get lasered there, I will never understand, but literally that was just a weird glitch that I've been noticing happens on controller on mobile. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something in my settings, but I might have to work on that. And sadly, though, in this game, but we do end up going down here just because of the fact of my stupidity. What I did learn on 30 FPS, though, is it's just, I would say play it as passive as you can, which, I mean, that is boring and all. And, I mean, obviously, if you need a W key game, you know, go for a W key game, like if you're in a tournament. But for Arena, it's just, you got to play it passive till the end. I mean, if you're taking mid-game sites, that's going to cost you no matter what. If you're on 30 FPS, 240 FPS, it's just quite tough. Mainly due to the fact of, like I said, you just don't know what third parties and such. And also, since you're playing on such a low FPS, you could get beamed once, and it's just like that dude behind you is playing on, let's say, like 60 or, you know, like 140 or something like that, 160, whatever, and he already beamed you 3 times by the time you got beamed once. And then you got to react, you got to put a wall behind you, and then you could get shot through walls. It's just the lag spikes and everything as a whole. It is quite tough to play on this FPS, guys. I mean, obviously the aim assist kicks in quite well, but it is very tough to play on this, like I said. Unless you're cracked out of your mind, I would definitely recommend landing at like a low POI, like maybe like a spot that is, you know, 1 or 2 people, just because you could split the loot or kill them and potentially get away. No matter what, though, abuse aim assist to your full advantage. Spray the crap out of people. Lock those 200s in, though. That's the best advice I can give you on 30 FPS.